He opened a container filled with dehydrated human waste. Then he added water and mixed it thoroughly. Every few feet, he scooped out a bit of the mixture, placed it into the soil, and covered it with a raw potato. Finally, he watered it all down. And just like that, 2 weeks later, this barren land was transformed into fertile ground. That patch of soil would become his only hope for survival over the next 3 years. Because this wasn't just any remote place. This was Mars, 55 million kilometers from Earth, completely lifeless, and he had been left behind. 2 months earlier, a sudden, violent superstorm forced the Mars exploration team to abort their mission. During the emergency evacuation, Mark was struck hard by flying debris. The system immediately sounded an alert. His suit had been punctured. Without oxygen, he was expected to die within a minute. Commander Lewis wanted to go back for him, but the ship was already tilting dangerously. She had no choice. She gave the order to evacuate. The crew left Mars in a hurry, believing Mark was gone. It wasn't until they were safely in orbit that the weight of it hit them. They had just lost a friend. NASA soon confirmed the devastating news. Mark Watney had been declared dead, but what no one could have predicted was that Mark wasn't dead. The impact had buried him in Martian soil, which inadvertently sealed his suit and slowed the oxygen leak just enough to save his life. He had a piece of metal lodged in his abdomen. That's what punctured the suit. Fortunately, the injury missed all vital organs. And even more luckily, the base was still fully intact. But the worst part? The communications system had been destroyed. His team was on their way back to Earth. No one knew he was still alive. Mark was now the only human on Mars. Outside, Martian storms raged unpredictably. Any damage to the base could be fatal. The whole structure could implode and kill him instantly. So he pushed the fear aside and got to work. He needed a plan. The storm lasted 2 brutal days. On the third, the skies finally cleared. And with them, his mind. His initial plan was to simply survive until help arrived. But the next mission wouldn't reach Mars for another 4 years. He began calculating his food supply. It would barely last 1 year. That wasn't nearly enough. Then, while using the bathroom one day, inspiration struck. He remembered a special gift left for Thanksgiving, a bag of fresh potatoes. Mark lit up and began recording a video log. As luck would have it, he was also a botanist. He was going to try something crazy, use that one bag of potatoes to grow a food supply that could last for 3 years. First step, collect all the crew's excrement. Perfect organic fertilizer. Next, he converted part of the habitat into a greenhouse. He spread a thick layer of Martian soil on the floor. The rest was straightforward. Fertilize, plant, repeat. But then came the real problem. Water. A single square meter of potato crop requires about 40 liters of water to grow properly. He had 12 square meters to work with. That's nearly 500 liters. On Mars, that's impossible. Or so it seemed. Because Mark already had a plan to make water. Mark hooked up a pipe to the spaceship, filled a bucket with hydrazine fuel, and then poured out a box of mysterious metal. He separated hydrogen from the fuel, sprinkled sawdust around, and touched the wires to ignite it. Once the hydrogen started burning, he could collect clean, fresh water. Matt was dazed from the explosion.